There's 4 stages to mastering any craft, be it podcasting, be it investing, be it painting, take anything, right? The 4 stages are, number 1 is curiosity. You have to have that inner curiosity that guides you towards a particular field. My sister, for example, is a great example here. She's a fantastic prosthetic artist, and like nobody in our family knew anything about prosthetics or makeup or anything of that sort. And so her inner compass guided her towards curiosity, towards that field. And so you need that as a foundation. Without that, you can't proceed. You can't really build a thriving career on any of these domains. You can get by, but you can't really excel. Number 2 is, after curiosity, you have to fall in love. Love is the second stage. And I think a lot of people actually don't love what they do, which is a tragedy, right? Like you have this one amazing, beautiful life you've been given, and I feel like most people don't find what they love, and they're not going to work getting excited. They're not going to work or spending time, doing what they love, and that's really sad. It takes some time, because our school system, I don't think really, empowers us to go find what you love. It didn't do it for me. But it's on you. You have to take the responsibility of figuring out what you love. So anyway, it starts with curiosity, turns into a love. Then there's the 3rd and 4th stage, which is obsession, is number 3. You have to be obsessed. You can't just leave it at the love stage. All these people that I'm studying, whether they are Steve Jobs, Edwin Land of the world, or who's the founder of Polaroid, James Dyson, Jeff Bezos. You take anybody in the movie industry too, you have to be obsessed. Quentin Tarantino, and you have to really, really, really understand the details. When I talk to my sister, I'm so enamored by or impressed by how many little details that she cares about, when it comes to her makeup, when it comes to her projects. It's ridiculous. Someone like me outside, who's not in the same field, I just don't care. It just makes me feel like, why is she obsessed about the most minuscule detail that no one's gonna know? But she tells me that I will know, which is amazing. That's exactly how Steve Jobs thinks. And he talks about this all the time, where he's like, I would know. And so it's mostly for your own inner satisfaction. So that's number 3, which is obsession. And number 4, and if you spend a lot of time being obsessed, it takes a decade or even more, you get to the final stage, which is mastery. Very few people we know have achieved that mastery stage. When you see Steph Curry play, the way he shoots the ball, with the way he does 3-point shots, that's mastery. But that didn't come overnight. That didn't come without being obsessed about, getting that, position right, getting the, posture right, taking this thousands and thousands of free throws and 3-point shot attempts. So it's really, mastery is just a factor of being obsessed for a long enough period of time. And I think all the rewards in the life, all of the outlier rewards and results are reserved for the final stage, which is the mastery stage. That's when you get the world to notice you, the recognition, the external rewards, awards, all of that. But it doesn't happen when you're in the first 3 stages. Some people may notice when you're obsessed. For example, I listened to this podcast called Founders Podcast by David Sendra, and you can tell that he's obsessed. Same thing with David Peddle, who loves writing, and I can tell that he's obsessed about writing. My sister tells me that I'm obsessed about businesses and startups and entrepreneurs. She can tell, but that's the only feedback you're gonna get, or recognition you're gonna get, that someone who's close to you, or some other A players can recognize it, but the masses won't recognize it. So you have to spend a decade being obsessed on something, and then creating something of value from that obsession, and then putting it out there. So you really have to have these 4 stages. Hope that resonates. If you're in the curiosity stage, know that you have to go to love, and then obsession, and then finally mastery. And if you've never really gone to any of these 4, ask yourself, what is something that innately feels a little bit curious to you? Whether it could be Warren Buffett was obsessed with investing for 6 decades, 7 decades. He's 93 now, right? Started when he was a teenager. So you really, really have to find that, and it's okay to take your time. It took me 30 years to get to the obsession that I have right now, which is business and startups. So, hope this resonates. And if it does, leave a comment, and I would love to engage and, get to hear what you're obsessed about.